I am streaming. I can go live here. Okay, am I going live? Yes, I am. Hello. 5 people are waiting. Hello. All right, great. Oh, well, yeah, we do have the background. Okay, good. Hello, everybody. I'm going to be asking if you guys can hear me first. It seems I have an audio level up here. It says it's sending it, but I need some feedback from you guys first before I do that. And by the way, I apologize for my second COVID haircut. And to be quite frank, considering I'm the age I am, I think I'm going to be doing this whole clippers thing for the rest of my life. It's so much cheaper and easier, and it's not like I'm going to be winning any beauty contests either way. But anyway, anybody can hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, if I am EST. Eastern Standard Time. I thought I made that clear. Can you hear me, Aztec? Aztec, can anyone hear me? I'm just going to type it on over here. Can anyone hear me? 5x5 audio. Thank you very much, Aztec. I really appreciate that. So, now, the last time I did one of these, I'm going to open up another tab and go to Bandcamp, because somebody said what you should do is have some music in the background, because that makes it a heck of a lot less boring. I said, me less boring? How could that possibly happen? So I'm going to go with purchases. I'm just going to put on this dark ambient album by Lisa Listvey called Unheard Of. She's a very good dark ambient artist. But I need to figure out, I don't want to make it so loud. There we go. That it overwhelms me. Just have it in the background, perhaps. Hopefully this is not overwhelming, and hopefully it's in the background to the point that you guys can hear it. Righty. Hi. We have, let's see. Right now it looks like one person, and it's probably Aztec that's here. Thanks for everybody tuning in. In fact, I'm going to turn this down a little bit on my side. Tuning in. And, before I even show you the latest builds of Peace Island, for some reason I always put OBS Studio in the other window when I should look over here, and that way I could just talk to you guys. Before I show you the latest build, I really should start addressing something that has been coming up more and more as of late. And that is, when is Peace Island coming out? I mean, I'm getting more and more people asking, like, when is it coming out? Why is it taking so long? Let's see. Is it even coming out at all? Is it still even under development? And I understand where this came from, because I'm partially guilty for it, but I mean, I like to blame the gaming media for like their misrepresentation of the game, and there's a lot of burden to be placed on them for their reports that consistently reported as if the game was going to be just on the verge of being released. But also something that came to my attention as of late is that everything is good. Thank you, Paul. Is that I may have been partially responsible for this as well, because from the very first day that I started working on the Peace Island project, I was posting screenshots to Twitter. Every time that just about every day that I worked on it, even if I only had like a couple of hours, I would post a screenshot. And, because it was a solo dev project, I was under the impression, it was going to take a very, very long time to produce. But I didn't think that people would look at those. I mean, this long stream of screenshots that I've been posting, and look at that as evidence that the game is almost ready to be released. Yes, it's been under development for a very long period of time, but if you look at one of my previous videos, if you look at my channel, I have one that shows, talks about the proposed release dates for Peace Island. And right now, I'm thinking we're going to get that demo done by the end of this year, hopefully, the public demo, first draft. And we're going to be able to release a full game, hopefully a year later, if we're able to get the funding and publishing, stuff worked out with everybody. And speaking of publishing, somebody mentioned Xbox. I'm going to circle around to that later. So, I don't know. It's just that because I was so audacious as to start posting screenshots of this from the very beginning, I don't know, people got maybe some crazy ideas. I've learned that since then that some people, fellow game developers, they are like not even showing off their projects for the first like several months to years of development. Me being an indie game dev with only a iPad cat game to my name, I don't know. I felt that I needed to just, I don't know, show people from the very start, how the game was being put together and everything. And it was also a great way of holding myself to account because, I mean, every time that I posted a screenshot, I was basically, putting more leverage on the scale, saying, I'm still working on this, it's still becoming a reality and everything. But, I guess the media saw a lot of those screenshots, and because of me doing that, they took those screenshots and they got the wrong idea. Because the thing is a hell of a lot of game developers, the first thing they do is they come out with just like the rough mechanics of their game, and they work on the fine, beautiful details later. Laura and I, being mostly like, artists by training rather than coders, we started from the opposite direction, and that we started from the very beginning trying to make a very beautiful and just inviting place to be. And I don't know, because we had that opposite, development pipeline as opposed to most other gamings. Again, that, perhaps gave people the wrong impression. And, my goodness, why is there an arrow in that image over there? By the way, that's not like some weird hidden signal or something. There's, in this image of the islands of Casco Bay I have here, there's this little screen. I'm just going to move that arrow out, maybe out, because it's just weird. Anyway, it's probably even bigger now. Anyway, that is why so many people have been asking. I feel I need to just address that first off. The game, understand, for the first 2 years, and I already did a video about this, for the first 2 years was just me, Laura, and a guy in Greece by the name of Alex. I accidentally misspelled his name correct, or I gave the wrong name in our recent Facebook ad, and Alex, very sorry. And really, we would only hire Alex whenever I had like $20 outside of my, line cook job that I could go, hey, Alex, you think you could do a little bit of coding or figure out a system for us? And Alex was always there and willing to help out for a little bit of money here and there. And I'm really looking forward to the day that we can release this game and bring Alex over here to the United States, or perhaps premiere the game in Greece. Who knows? And, let that guy, I'll thank him for his founding work all those years ago. But anyway, going back to, it was just a solo project, myself and Laura, for the first couple of years. We could only get so much done outside of our very long job shifts. For the last, I think, 9 months of those 2 years, I was able to go back to part-time as a line cook, and then, people are tuning out. They're like, this guy's doing nothing but talking about schedules. Anyway, I'm very sorry that some people got the impression that the game is ready to release. I'm very sorry, but I've been trying to be very transparent with people since the very beginning. And, I tend to Grandpa Simpson, and I don't want to spend this entire time because I want to answer these questions that I see coming up over here. And hopefully people are saying, like, we can't hear you. No, I see. You guys can hear me. The last thing I want to address about this is, one moment. Oh, my goodness, I got a pain in my neck. Is that understand is somebody that had only created a Mac, an iPad game for cats prior to taking on like building an entire open world video game. It led to just oh goodness. Let's put it this way: I spent about, I'd say, 9 months working with our the new coders that we got after the game went viral and we got proper funding. We spent a good amount of time going back and having to take apart the world that I had created and put it back together in a more coherent way, because Prior to it going viral on Patreon, it was, let's see, prior to it going live on viral on Patreon, we were only trying to get the game to work on about like 300 computers, which are basically the people who contribute to us on Kickstarter, and a potential developer's gaming system. Once it became viral on Patreon, we were now dealing with thousands of people that wanted to play the game, and we had a much wider sampling range of computers that we had to work with. And as a result, not so much feature creep, but again, we had to take it apart and put it back together again in a more coherent manner. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just bring this out. I'm going to see if I can play the most recent alpha, which really, unfortunately, does not have much really to show off. It has a little bit of new palette and a few things. The things that I'm really most proud to show off is the stuff that we fixed. We have had a consistent issue with jumping for about the last 2 alpha releases. And the 2 alpha releases, we also had an issue with the cats skittering. Whenever they encountered a rock anywhere on the island, they would just skitter and jump or stop moving. And we finally got those solved this evening. Yesterday. And those are really cool. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn down this weird buzzing we have in the background. Lisa. And we're going to start this up here. And I also want to show this to you because, first off, we've got to bring up the window on OBS. One moment. Let's see. Because this is new, I got to bring it in. No. Let's see. Oh, it's not there. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to start it within there. Within the Unity player, and just then bring it over. Just give me a moment, guys. Thank you for your patience. Cancel. Boy, wonderful viewing. Take that. Let's see. Where's my video capture device? Got to put that on top. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Now I can hear in the background. Number one, I'm going to turn the audio down just a bit. It always starts so loud. We're going to have to do a little bit of adjustment. But now, let's see. I can bring in the new window. No, I want... How come that is not showing up? I'm trying to bring this up in OBS, guys. Just give me just one moment. For some reason... Okay, what I'm going to have to do, I think, is I'm just going to have to capture an entire display. And bring that over there. Just saying, give me one moment. Yes. There we are. Okay, let's see. No, display capture. And for some reason, let's see. No, you're... Oh, there it is. Great. I got to rescale it. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. The way this new setup is here, unfortunately, I couldn't just have it playing in the background. I had to do it as soon as... Let's see. Move that up. Jeez. I really appreciate you guys' patience with this. Oh, my God. All right. We got that on top. The display capture, of course not. Yeah. Okay, great. Nope, it is still, I'm still doing it, guys. Thank you so much. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of my video and the web browser window and the okay, display capture. And I think we got it now. Oh, no, we don't. Yes, we do. Fantastic. Sorry, guys. All right, apply. Now, while this is loading, I'm just going to check on you guys' questions over here in the YouTube window. By the way, the new loading, Oh goodness, a new loading screen. Oh my. I'm just going to go over to this again and just make sure over there. Yep. Okay. All right. I think it's going to make a fool out of me, guys, because all of a sudden... Hold on. Nope. No. It looks like... I'm very sorry. We have to reload. We have to reboot that. Sorry, guys. One more time. All right. Yeah, and one of the things that Unity did recently, it's really crazy. They got rid of their automatic launcher that asks the player what kind of display and what resolution you want it to display. They got rid of that. Now you have to create your own, and it's just stupid. Why the heck they do that? Okay, so. And again, it's going to start very loud, so I apologize in advance. Now go to options. Take that down. Apply. There we go. Wow. See? So loud, that thing. Just adjusting it. So, we're just going to go new game. Please don't embarrass me, guys. I mean, this thing, I swear to God, guys, it worked not less than an hour ago when I tested this build. There we go. Oh, by the way, the loading screen here is new. Something that we've been meaning to implement since the longest time. And thankfully we have it. And by the way, loading and switching between cats is so much faster now, it's frightening. Because we did a big... upgrade to the most recent version of Unity, and they did these improvements to the burst to mathematics and all these other packages. And before it was like, I mean, you got to wait about 10 seconds between cats, and now it's just zip. In fact, I could show you. Let's go zip. Go to Elizabeth. 1, 2. See, it used to be about 10 seconds, and now we got it down to less than 2. I think once we get things worked out here as far as, the downtown, we're going to be able to get that down to like Skyrim speeds, just like zip. Let's see here. Because Skyrim, really what it does is just, I'm sorry. Missing collider. Oh, but you know what? We're just going to move over to that cat there and just continue on with our journey. And we're going to find a nice place to sit. Now, I'm just trying to think what may be new. Let's see. We're trying to create bring in a new controller. For the longest time, we had a problem with the controllers. I'm going to see if I can open up the music a little bit higher. Let's see here. Escape. Bring the music up just a little bit so you guys can hear. Yeah, there you go. You can hear the music for the game now. Let's see. I gotta go apply and hit escape and resume. Yep. I'm just trying to see. I should see your questions really quick. I'm going to take us to a nice place where I can watch the sunsets, and then I'm going to take a look at you guys' questions and comments, just so we can get into that. Let's see here. I'm going to have to do some adjustments on that before I'm comfortable showing it off. The other side, right over here, is a good place. Let's see here. But anyway, the new player controller, it's going to be far more versatile. Anybody who's followed this project for a very long time, and I'm going to bring my camera to the top so you can just see my... Oh, come on, sit down, cat. Stop embarrassing my by walking forever. Oh, goodness. All right, well, there are always these bugs that you would rather not have, and when you try and show off your latest builds, but here we go. The cat is eternally walking. Go figure. I was hoping that we could have a cat, like, literally just, like, maybe sitting down and viewing the sunset, but there you go. We could just watch the cat moonwalking forever and ever. I'm going to go look at your questions. Give me a second here. All right, YouTube. Oh, and when I'm doing this, I can't see the game over here because of the way it's set up. Isn't that just awesome, guys? Let's see. Dang it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close it again. I'm going to try relaunching it in its own window and try and bring that up. There we go. Let's go. Windowed. Yep. Thanks for everybody's patience. And I apologize for the eternally walking cat. All right. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Damn it. See, like I said, when it comes on, I've been telling these guys we really have to adjust that volume. I'm going to take a look here and see if I can just get rid of this display capture here. And see if I can bring in that window capture. Let's see, window capture. Okay. Yes, Peace Island EXE. There we go, boys and girls. Thank you so much. I'm still learning like the peculiarities of OBS, and I haven't done one of these like live streams in months and months and months. So thank you so much let's see. I only need to get rid of that in the background. There we are. I'm going to take a look at your questions really quick while this is just really quick. Let's see. Better than the movie for sure. Aztec Marker. What movie are you talking about? May I ask? Just saying. I'm going to move myself up to the top and put myself in the corner so we can both just see each other. Put that up there. Yeah. By the way, Lizzie. Can you see her? Behind me here. That's Elizabeth right there. There she is on the screen, and there she is in real life. She's gotten a little bit zoftig during the pandemic because she, eating too much pasta and watching too much Netflix. She is the cat that's right there on the screen. Anyway, I'm going to take a look at your questions. Let's see. Hola todos, hello. Hola, Cesar. One of these days I'm going to learn to speak one other language. I'm trying to learn Greek. Please release it in Germany. Tamija Futo. When it's released, here's the thing. I don't know much of that about like how legal issues are handled as far as like distribution and release. So I do not know about. I mean, I would say, heck, can I just sell it to anybody on Steam? But or like, what's the other one? Those other game sites where you can. Jeez. I really should give them a shout out because Steam does have a monopoly. I recently bought a game on one of them. Anyway, I thought I could just put it on one of those sites and it would be like available everywhere. But I learned, no, it will not. You have to secure rights and distribution in every country. And quite frankly, right now, if you're contributing $1, 1 peso, 1 mark, one ruble a month, you can gain access to the alphas no matter where you are in the world. And heck, that's as good as releasing it, I think, right now, is it not? So, thank you. A really good idea of Titus, thank you. Believe it or not, before the plague, the concept, you're talking about the concept, we were actually, I'm just going to put on new games so we can go and get a sunset while we're talking. We were getting invited to actually speak at colleges and address their philosophy classes because they wanted to discuss, the morality mechanics that we were putting in about the cats deciding the fate of humanity. And fortunately, that was canceled. I say fortunately because both me and Laura are painfully like asocial and, not showman or anything. And golly, just going out, I don't know, it would have been a stretch for any one of us to go down to Boston and address a philosophy class about, this game that we were coming up with. But yeah, the whole sting about the cats being able to decide the fate of humanity, that was the concept that, just from the very beginning, jeez. Because I'm just trying to. I go back again. I for new viewers, I tend to Homer Simpson. I tend to just go off on tangents from time to time and just continue talking about stuff that people mention here. And I think that here's the thing: is that we have so much reign over the rest of the world and so much decision. By the way, this cat is just no. He's continuing to walk. Is it all? I don't know. It's just, it was an interesting concept for us to maybe include, leave it up to, you see we're having music level problems? That's the geese music coming in that Richard composed. I'm wondering how loud that is. Oh, goodness. I hate these geese. We're going to go over to Susie. Because quite frankly, that's another thing that we're developing right now or finalizing is the NPC controller and bringing in the new animations. And whenever I look at those old geese, it's just embarrassing. It looks like the game may have just locked up. Yes, it did. I'm sorry. We can just start it again, guys. Sorry. And you know what? This thing, I forget that YouTube doesn't play at like the humongous volume, resolution and screen size that I do. So I should play it this next time at a lower resolution because it's just silly for me to be playing it at like 3440 by 1400, ultra, when it's only going across on YouTube, 12, I think it's 1280 by 720. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it at high rather than ultra, and that'll ensure a much smoother smoother play. And by the way, I'm going to go back to your questions, let's see, 1280 by 720. There we go, and we're going to make it high. See, and now I can bring up that window. Just one moment. Add that as a window. And let's see. Is it that one? Yes. Is it? No. Goodness gracious. Give me a moment, guys. Give me one moment. Bit by bit, I'm learning this thing. Oh, goodness. For a moment, I thought you guys were being deafened by the audio. Sorry. Window capture. Okay, for some reason it's coming across just as a empty Unity window here. It is just embarrassing the hell out of me, guys. Give me a moment to clear out this stuff. God. I'm very sorry. This is again, I haven't streamed in months, and this is I have to relearn this stuff every time. Thank for all 17 of you who are watching. Thank you so much for your patience. When this sort of stuff happens, I feel so old. It's just so sad. All right, let me start this again. Oh my God. Old man can't even start his own game. All right, now while that is starting there, great. I'm going to see. We're going to get the window capture. Just get rid of that. For some reason, there are about 30 window captures open. I think having all that many windows open is like the equivalent, like the OBS Studio version of having your like blinkers on, your blinker on for hours. All right, Peace Island EXE. Okay, let's see. For some reason, it's showing only half the screen. OBS, you make a fool out of us all. I guess I got to do it again, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to answer your questions and show you the game. But OBS is just being this way. Yeah, it will only show it in half screen. It will not show the entire. Guys, I'm going to answer your questions. That's all I can really do. OBS Studio is not letting me display the game. I am very sorry. I'm just going to put on something in the background while I answer the questions that are coming up. If you have any problem with what's going on, talk to the developers of OBS Studio and ask them why they do stuff like this. All right. It's sad. It just really is. I'm wondering, is my signal even coming across still? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. All right, we're getting that. And that, yeah. I'm going to try one last time. Okay, great. Finally. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have this in the background. And I'm going to turn it down a bit here while I answer any questions that you guys have. I'm learning more of these languages as I go along. Gracias, Ani. You love the cats, yeah. We actually got a very, by the way, I'm just saying, Aldo, we got a very great coverage in a Mexican gaming magazine, Mexico City. That was really cool. We got coverage in a whole bunch of countries, just really wacky. I can't say that I learned much Serbian or anything. For you on Twitter, Aldo Martinez. Were you the one saying, Aldo, whether it was going to be on Xbox? Here's the thing. I've had discussions with Xbox. I've talked to Xbox. That's all I can say at this time. But trust me, I want it released on, as many platforms as possible. Unfortunately, because the gaming industry runs the way it is, I think it's all a matter of exclusives and which platform gets it first, right? And it's just, to me, just sort of silly. If it were up to me, I would just release it on every platform. But the thing is, every platform requires a rework, release its own coding, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know. Was that your question, Aldo? And by the way, I'm going to go down a little bit. By the way, it's neat to see so many people, 14, 17. Let's see. No, Epic, by the way. Oh, better than the movie Cats. That movie. I think that, aside from the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, was the original cut with that weird, bizarre thing, was the most memorable cinematic event of the last year. I mean, can you think of any other movies from the last year, during the age of COVID, that came out that were Love and Monsters, yes. But outside of that, I'm trying to think if there were any other exceptional movies released that year. Anything is better than Cats. Having James Corden sit on my face, eat baked beans, and fart for 90 minutes is better than watching James Corden in the movie Cats. So I'm going to move on from that. Let's see. I'll just go up. Question: might we be able to mod the cat skin? Goodness. Let's see. Make sure that I have everything here. I'm going to start this, by the way, so we can just see a sunset instead of the cats just sitting there. Here's the thing about DLC, and I'm answering Aztec's question, and this is where I'm going to Grandpa Simpson a bit. As an old gamer, understand I've been gaming since 1984. When I got my family had an Apple II Plus computer, and my parents got me. I got a copy of Zork 3 and Ultima. I liked how back in the old days, when a studio published a game, they published the whole game. They said, "Here's the story we want to tell." That's it. I believe that DLC expansions are cheating. Is somebody talking in the background? Okay, I'm just sorry. I thought I heard somebody talking in the background. I am opposed to DLC for Peace Island. I'm not opposed to making a sequel to the game, should we be so lucky to be, finish this game and produce the next one. But in my ideal communications with any publisher, and it's probably going to hurt us, is that when you buy Peace Island, it's the whole story. From beginning to end, it's everything that we have to tell you. I mean, considering it's layered story. Oh goodness, the background is just frozen, it looks like. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can bring it up again. So I think I've talked about, DLC long enough. I think you got my point. I'm just going to see if I can go in here and, let's see. My goodness. I'm going to have to bring up the window again, guys. OBS is just making me look like an idiot. Yes. So, but I can bring it up again. Window capture and Peace Island EXE. And look at it. It's still showing you that. Guys, the game is playing in its window right over there. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go really radical. I'm going to tell it to, again, grab a freaking... Yes, window capture. Get rid of the window capture, and I'm going to put the monitor capture, display capture, and I could just have the game playing up in the upper right and my face in the lower left. Let's see, display capture. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah. And I will resize that. I can't believe that we have 20 people hanging out watching this old man fail at OBS terminally for such an extended period of time. Oh my God. Thank you guys. We're now down to 19. One of them got sick of it. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is temporarily just get rid of everything and see if I can just... let's see, display settings. Display. Just get rid of the background color, well, screw it. What I'm going to do here, it's nighttime, by the way, up there in the game. And you can see what I have on my computer there, all my icons, all my crazy stuff. But I'm going to let the world just sit there, because right now it is nighttime. And we're just going to let the nights, because my long journey here was just being able to answer your questions. That was the main thing. So fortunately, I could finally do that. So now I was rambling on and on like Grandpa Simpson about DLC. And how I think it's cheating, but let's see, modding. Because it's a Unity engine, I believe if I don't allow people to mod it, somebody's going to probably come out with a mod, of it, without whether I do it or not. So maybe I should get ahead of that, and And by the way, what I'm going to do here, see the cat? He's stuck there. He's vibrating, because the cat is eternally walking. I'm just going to put him in glass so it's less embarrassing while I talk. I'm so sorry, guys. This was not the case just 2 days ago. So, and let's see, Alt-Tab. Get that in the background. And put that. Oh, I was hearing the background. What I was hearing was, is I was hearing the music on the radio. There we go. There we go. We got the black in the background so you can see what's going on. Let's see. Considering we have so many people viewing right now, and we're just watching the night, I could turn on the music in the background just a bit. Oh, it's still on high. Hopefully you guys aren't being deafened. Cancel. Escape. Resume. Okay. Oh, look, there's a cat moon. That's a rare thing right there. If you don't know what the cat moon is, you haven't been following the project for very long. Let me just also Alt-Tab out of there so I can move the window over, because it looks like it's not in the OBS yet. Oh yeah, I was gonna... the radio broadcast, by the way, here. We had, that was one of the most, believe it or not, one of the more expensive parts of development, because we had to hire so many voice artists for the radio broadcast, the musicians. I mean, for example, to make an ad for one of the businesses on the island, you had to hire a musician, a voice actor, and we tried to do our own writing as best we could. Got a strange echo. Weird. I don't know why we're having that weird echo on there. You know, this is just me failing time and again to show you features. But anyway, one of the voices that we have on the radio that we're sort of proud of, the main announcer, he is the voice, he's a guy by the name of Richard Hensel. He did the voices of the DJs in Groundhog Day, the movie with Bill Murray. I've known the guy for, a couple of decades, and we were lucky enough to get him to do the, Oh my God, we're almost where the geese are going to get us again. I'm just going to try and get to a nice place away from the geese, and I'm going to try and get back to your questions. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice place. Nice meadow over by the battery there. But we want to get them in the grass so we don't see them walking eternally, so that game reviewers, game journalists don't come back to us later and go, "I'm so sorry I even mentioned this game. It's apparent that they can't even get the player controller to walk properly." Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Kitty cat. Stand there and just walk in place. Walk like an Egyptian. There you go. So I was going to answer questions as best I could. Let's see. Oh, okay. Annie the white cat asks, how can the cats find food in trash cans? By the way, also going to check my audio levels. Yeah. Going to turn that down a bit, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to answer Annie's question is what I'm going to do. That is actually one of the quests of the game. I don't want to give too much out, but at the beginning of the game there will be a finite amount of food that the cats can find on their own. It will be found all over the island. You'll find it in waste baskets. You'll find it in restaurants that was left behind. Some people were having breakfast just as, well, that it happened. And you'll be able to find that. But at a certain time, one of the narratives of the game is essentially we want to make it a story of survival in a way. And let's see. We want to get it to the point that at a certain time the cats are going to have to find their own source, their own independent source of, nutrition. And that in itself is its own story tree, its own quest tree. So, wow, 26 people. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm answering your questions right now while we just watch the cat walk in place. Eventually, because really, when you think about it, and this is again Ari the white cat, if, for example, the cats decide, humans, let's not bring them back, that would mean that the cats on their own have an independent source of nutrition, a way to support themselves and keep themselves fed without the aid of human beings. And of course, getting that source of food and such it's going to be, like I said, its own story, its own quest. I'm going to see if I can bring up that music again. Let's see. The nights here are only 8 minutes, by the way. Just give me a moment. Boy, I'm always asking that. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, kids. I'll catch up with you. I'm still spry. Don't you doubt me. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go back. Actually, I'm going to go to this because it's kind of, I don't know. I enjoy it. So anyway, let's see. I think I asked the questions. Oh, I didn't answer the question about the cat skin from Aztec. Here's the thing. Let's just say about the players being able to change the cat skin. That is something that is still under discussion as a development thing. We don't truly, I honestly say, I would like the player's cat to be in the game. The problem is as I detailed so many times in the past, this story was written for the cats that we wrote into the game. And imagine, for example, Harry Potter or, Garfield or something like that, where the author said, before I tell you anything about Harry Potter, I want you to tell me what you think Harry Potter would be. And imagine, would Harry Potter be the same character if he was like 6 feet tall, didn't have glasses, had blonde hair, and was really buff? I don't think so. But I still think there may be, a way for, players to include their cats in the game. So let's just say that is still, I think, an option. Yeah, there's some sort of air traffic controlling going in the background. Yay! As the cat slowly moonwalks. Anyway, I think I've answered all those questions. Angora with, is there an Angora cat? That's from Annie as well. Let's see that there's a Maine Coon. Here's the thing about long-haired cats. Long-haired cats are more difficult, more processor heavy. And let's put it this way: we have a Maine Coon and we have Ronin. Let's see, is Ronin here? Well, Ronin is a long-haired cat. He's a Norwegian forest cat. If you've ever seen them, they have very long hair. Very fluffy, very, very close to an Angora, but different in a way. Now, how many cats are there now? Tamija Futo asks. There are going to be 9 cats. And why do we choose 9 cats? Because the old saw of, 9 cats, 9 lives. And that's, in fact, if you go to our Kickstarter or Patreon pages, I think there are images of all the 9 cats there. There's there's a Siamese cat. There's a tabby. Actually, no, let me see. Susie is sort of a very long Angora style cat, but trust me, I think that if you own a cat, you will see a cat very close to it in the game as it is currently done. And like I said, I would really like perhaps somehow for the player to feature their cat inside of the game. Let's see. Going down here. Oh god, it already zipped all the way to the beginning. Let's see, catnip for everyone. Steam and Epic Games. Let's see. Aldo Martinez, thankfully, he was like, what game story were you trying to remember? Was it Epic or as bad as a rep Steam has, I have to say that I have heard nothing. Jeez, I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot, but here's the thing. I do not mind shooting myself in the foot because here's the thing: you have predatory publishers, just as you have predatory everybody else in the business world, and Epic Games is predatory, and that somehow, I forget, he got a property that somehow made it more rich than God himself. And as a result, they were able to go to all these indie studios and offer them just ungodly amounts of money for an exclusive. And, I could understand now as a game developer, it would be very, 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 very tempting if, say, for example, Epic Games came to us and said, hey, kids, we hear you're having a little bit of a problem there with your money. What say, you give us a 6-month exclusive, and we make sure that you have, say, 7 figures in your bank account? And I don't know. That, to me, I know that's how business is done, but, here's the thing is that both Laura and I, and actually most of our dev staff, are like skeptical of the capitalism in general. So I don't know. That's the thing. We're trying to remain pure in a business that just has so much evil in it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like as far as like game publishers and evil, go watch a YouTube channel called Jim Sterling, and just watch a few of his videos, and he'll fill you in. Now, let's see. Now, Lizzie here is like on her front porch, and we got some lights going. And actually, she's doing something other than walking. She's stuck in an eternal stretch. Anyway, I'm going to go back to your questions while she stretches over and over. Let's see. Reference, okay. I can only see the main menu page, Amy. Yeah, sorry about that. What kind of NPCs are there? Okay. Tajima asks, what kind of NPCs are there? What we are doing in the context of this game is we are considering every animal species to be an NPC. What they would call is a clan, or a faction. We have, let's see, we have snail, we have deer, we have beavers, seagulls, crow. There are going to be dogs in the latter part of the game, and I'm pretty sure I forgot a couple in there. Geese. We had deer. Oh, beavers. The thing is that right now, before we had a different system controlling each one of those NPC factions. And Richard is right now scripting a universal thing that's going to just take care of all of the NPCs at once. And, there are going to be quests involved with every one of those species. And like in many of these games, I mean, if I hadn't said this a million times, I'm a fan of the old school games like Fallout, where they took, care to just, include as many options with all the factions and as many dialogue and story choices as possible. That's what that's the gold standard there that we're shooting for. And I can't say, considering we don't have the staff, that Black Isle had, and those other studios, of course we're not going to be able to reach that height, but that's what we're shooting for. And by the way, guys, if any of the gamers out there, I realize I'm talking to a younger crowd generally than myself. If you have not gone back and played the original first 2 Fallout games, please do, because that's the genesis of. If you've ever played a game called Dishonored, they were doing the same sort of dialogue-driven story, action sort of stuff decades ago, almost now. Yeah, decades. Because I remember Fallout 2. Jeez, yeah, it came out like very close, like 6 months after. Anyway, 1998. I don't mean to be that old, so I'm going to keep on. What kind of? Because I've answered the NPC question, and now the camera's just zipping right around. Let's see. Okay. Online multiplayer. That's another situation where I have to say no. And here's the thing. The more I thought about it, the more I've realized, boy, this could be a really neat game for like multiplayer online. But I mean, even if we restricted it to the story, I mean, we made it like, almost like Journey, where if you went through, you met like other players, and you would have to stick through them throughout the entire story. But here's the problem, guys. Games are developed by people, and they are developed also by like lead developers, and I am the lead developer, and I don't like online gaming. I don't like online multiplayer. I never liked it. I play video games because I like to get away from people, because I don't like jerks, and I don't like, I'm asocial. I'm not antisocial. I'm asocial, and in creating this game, I've said this since the very beginning. We are trying to tell a story to you, create a story for you. We believe that in telling this story, your friends would just get in the way if we made it multiplayer. So I know that's a disappointment to some people, but here's the thing. I guarantee you within a couple of months of us releasing it, somebody's going to hack into the code and probably release, Gary's mod style multiplayer, so maybe you can. We'll see. Let's see. Okay. My second question is, Aldo, is there going to be a way to change the language settings to Spanish? That is something that I consider to be very important to the game's development. And yes, when we release it, I would really like to hire very good translators so that we can release it in people's native languages. And this is something that's sort of almost tangential to stuff that we've been talking about up till now. We're going to have very, very little voice acting in this game as far as the players go, because okay, for those who don't know game development and don't understand it, voice acting is an incredibly, incredibly expensive and time-consuming thing that in the end limits the writer's abilities to tell a good story. Because every time a writer wants to include an option for you, the player, or something for the NPC to say, we have to hire a voiceover artist to go into a booth, say it 5 different ways, have it edited and inserted. And that's expensive. I trust me, I could find some voiceover artists that are willing to work for free, and it would sound like garbage. I would rather have a text-based interface and quest system than to have crappy voice acting and limit us to just like very linear quest trees. Now, here's another thing, and I really hate to say this because I see we're up to 27 views. We have. I need to just head to the restroom for about, let's say, 30 seconds. I will be right back with you guys, and I'll continue answering your questions. Thank you for your patience. I'll be right back. All right, thank you so very much for waiting. And let's see here. By the way, I'm gonna move this kitty cat to another place so we could see something else for a few minutes. And also, by the way, as far as like the whole quest engine stuff goes, we still have not got that implemented because, geez. Among the dev staff, we are still deciding, is that the engine that we want to use? So, I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll be able to figure out eventually. Let's see, I'm going to go back to Susie here, because she's just standing right over here. If anybody, by the way, from the Portland region or the Casco Bay area is like tuning in right now, they know exactly that dock right here. I mean, we have a little bit of interactivity here. Like, oh goodness, Mike, that's toilet tissue. Sorry. I thought these cats would be able to just mow right through that toilet tissue right there. We put those in, by the way, at the very beginning of the whole coronavirus, because here in the United States we had this crazy, toilet tissue shortage. Oh, collider issue. Oh goodness. There are still some items here that have never had their. Oh look. Oh, she's hovering, but at least she's sitting still. Hurrah. Okay, so I'm going to go back to your questions here. Thanks for everybody's patience. Okay, now, oh my goodness, Lissy A. Talking about James Corden. Oh my goodness, I'm that far back. Goodness. Let's see. Actually, here's the thing about James Corden. I agree with the guy over in Philosophy Tube. James Corden ain't the funniest guy in the universe, but at least he tries. And, sometimes he's giving me a chuckle. And come on, I mean, lay off. I could think of far worse entertainers than him. I mean, if I'm going to vent my frustration at somebody who insists on putting their face on, screens all over the world, I'm going to get angry at people like Ben Shapiro and Stefan Molyneux and people like that. I mean, come on, James Corden, at least he tries to tell jokes. And he has Reggie Watts as his band leader. I love that guy. He's great. Let's see. Going down. Now, Danny Jackal, you say hype. Now, people have responded to some posts that I've made with that word hype. And I confess, as a gray-haired 50-year-old, I may not fully understand the context in which that word is being used. But to me, that's like somebody saying, "Hey, what you're just selling us a bunch of goods. It's just hype. There's no game really there." That's what I tried to address a little bit earlier. Sorry about all this stuff on here. I'm just trying to get this in the proper places here. Okay, yeah. All right. And again, after years of seeing erroneous magazine and website stories about our game, I could see how people would get that impression. That the game is just hype and it really doesn't exist. But trust me, as somebody who's been sitting here for years working on this, it exists. It exists. It exists so much. Let's see here. I'm just going to it's my time here in Lobster. There we go. I mean, for example, somebody was asking about food. Yeah, there's going to be food, but trust me, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get into that seafood shanty right there than just like walking in through the door. You're going to have to find a way in there. And even when you do, that's only going to give you food for a certain amount of time. And there are going to be some cats who can't get in there. And how are you going to feed those guys? Because they're elderly and fat, and how are they going to be able to climb in there? But anyway, that's for you to figure out. Oh, no, it put it all the way on the other side. My God, guys, hold on. This is embarrassing. Let's see. Okay. Sorry. All right, this should be it. Let's see here. Yeah. Goodness gracious, guys, sorry. Yeah, I'm losing viewers because they're like, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Okay. Oh, yeah, and the reason I went on and on about, like, languages is because of this guy's question about foreign languages. I would like to hire, by the way, I'm going to go back over here and take it out of the pause so we can always go there. I would like it in as many languages as possible. And again, that depends on, the translators that we hire. And we are going to, again, hopefully release it in as many languages as possible. Because, the world, unfortunately, is Anglo-centric. For better or worse, we are Anglo-centric, but we do realize that there are millions and millions of players out there who don't speak English, and we want to make it available to them. Recently, it speaks into that is that, I've been looking for, I would really like to get some school on some really, deserted island. I love island communities, somewhere say in the Faroe Islands or, I forget the other one, but there was another one. Just having to have that school out in the middle of nowhere on that island, be able to test the game and play the game. But the thing is for that to happen, I'd have to be conscious of the language. And fortunately, the Faroe Islands being, I believe Danish, they are independent, of course, but they all speak English there. Everybody speaks, goodness gracious. That was one of the things Americans learn when we go to Europe, is that you guys have a better command of better command of English than the average American does. But we try. Let's see. Any other questions? Yeah, Donnie Jackal. But going back to what I was talking about, no, the game hopefully is not hype. Hopefully hype means something positive. I will learn that once I don't know, I'll go to Urban Dictionary. What was your inspiration for the game? What inspired you for the story? Laura and I, she's my co-lead dev. She and I would go out to, there's this island. In fact, maybe we want to get off here for a bit because we've seen the kitties standing around for a bit. I will show you here on my web browser. We can go. Maybe show it. Some sort of weird Russian stuff going on there. Hold on, I'm going to put that on that album. And I'm going to put on... Okay, let's see. I just want to see what you guys are seeing over there. OBS. Okay, yeah, you're seeing my window. I could just put this on in the background. Well, we're discussing... Sorry for the burping, but I prefer my beverages carbonated. And plus, I'm a fat American, and we have to have everything fizzy and pleasurable. I will show you Cascope, and let me see. Bring this map over here. What I'm going to do. I live, by the way, if you do not know, I live in. This area, here's Portland, Maine, and we're going to go to this. I live on the community here, and any stalkers here, I think, yeah, it shows my little house icon there. So anybody who wants to come over and drink my blood and wear my skin suit, know to get me. But now what I'm going to do is, number one, bring this over a little bit further so we can see. Now, one of the neatest things that I learned after I moved up here 10 years ago was that you could catch a ferry out here to any one of these islands out here. And over the course of the first, I moved here in 2010. I must have gone out there hundreds of times to every one of these islands. I've been out to Cliff Island I'd say about a half a dozen times. Long Island here, jeez, a lot. But we went out to this one a lot, and if you look at it, you'll notice there's a very heavy resemblance between the geography of this island and Peace Island as you've come to know it. But at a certain point when I don't know, Laura and I we went around here and spent so many days and evenings and nights walking around this island and the other islands of Casco Bay. I don't know, at a certain point we started talking about, I was like, I'm learning Unity. I would really like to make an open world video game. If I were to set it somewhere, this would be a really great place to set it. And the initial idea, and I've told this story a million times, I'm sorry, is that it was going to be about a young nurse, a young veterinarian arriving on the island because she's taking over for the retiring veterinarian on the island. And the game would take place, she would get off the ferry And she would be there alone, and you'd see the fairy just like go away. And by the way, look at here on Google Maps now, they show the fairy. That looks like the big car fairy. Yeah, that's the big car fairy. But she would turn around and just start walking toward the vet's office, and she would discover no one's there on the island, and all the people are gone. And the story was going to be because our conceit was because she's a veterinarian, she knows animals, and they would give her nonverbal clues about, where, quests and so on and so forth. But at a certain point, we said, literally, why don't we get rid of the middleman? Because we want to tell the story about the cats of the island and the animals of the island. Why do we have to tell it from a human's perspective? It would be far more interesting to tell it from the cat's perspective. And we chose cats because on the islands generally, because these islands have been occupied by humans and their domestic animals for several hundred years now at this point. At least 300 or 250 to 300. Some of them, I think some as much as 400. And when I talk about, I'm talking about European development. I don't mean to be Eurocentric in this, because Native Americans were using these islands as. In fact, I think Peaks Island was a sort of a summer spot for the local tribes. I guess they found fishing good out there. For the summer months, and it was, preferable to staying on land. But at a certain point, we just said, get rid of the humans, and we're going to just tell it from the story of the perspective of the animals. And one of the things is, you don't meet dogs just hanging out on the islands. I'd like to say that these islands have like very special protected biospheres, but they really don't, because again, humans have been living there with their cats and their dogs and animals for so many hundreds of years that really, out on Peaks, you can still find frogs. But for the most part, they're smaller than that part of your thumb. They've had to evolve to be no larger than that, because otherwise they would have gotten eaten by the cats and the rats and the other things that humans bring along with us. There are larger animals out on the island, such as beavers and muskrats and such. But that's where our inspiration came, is that really you would meet cats just hanging out on the island. In fact, let me just show you. I'm going to see if I can bring it up on YouTube. There's this one cat. Her name was Sushi. Let's see, YouTube. And I'm just going to go to my channel really quick and show you. Just me, I'm going to show you this video. I'm going to turn down the audio here. This is how it's not uncommon to just be walking down the road and you meet a cat or cats on their own business, and they'll just come up to you, say howdy, and then they'll just leave off on their own business. And I think one of our initial things was what is those cats' business, And we started hypothesizing, what a cat's life was like out on those islands. But the cats out there are very friendly because there are no predators. The speed limit out there is 20 miles per hour, and in the downtown area, everybody drives very slowly. And this cat in particular, literally her life before the plague, and before her owner moved away from the dock area, he used to live near the dock area, was literally just sitting there waiting for ferries to come in every day and greeting the ferries and just being adored by tourists all over the world, from all over the world. This cat probably, met more people from widely varied people than any human you'd want to mention. And again, it was just a whole bunch of culmination of ideas that led us to think. And also, we're very big cat people, Laura and I. If we're going to tell, a story, it's going to be from the perspective of a cat, of course. So let me go back over to, let me see, what is it still? Yeah, there we go. To the questions. Let's see. What inspired me for the story? And whether humans are worth bringing back. What inspired us as to the story of whether humans are worth bringing back. Well, I think we're living in times right now. I mean, unfortunately, we're living in an age where science is politicized, and I can't even talk about like the stuff that's going on without being branded like, oh goodness, you're a liberal cuck for talking about. But seriously, I mean, when you look at things that are going on in the world today, I mean, our oceans are literally going to be dead within the next 20 years because they're the biggest carbon sink in the world and they're becoming so acidic that the fish are dying en masse. I mean, yes, humanity, we're reaching that point where we're not, reproducing to the point, and as they say, the 12th billionth person will never be built. But honest to God, we treated our oceans like like a toilet. We're just incredibly destructive species. And see, I'm getting preachy, and we're losing people. And I mean, especially I mean, when I was a little kid, monarch butterflies. There were forests that you had walked through, and there were so many monarch butterflies. They coat every surface, and you were walking through a forest. You were literally walking through trunks covered with monarch butterflies. And everywhere you would look, you're in a world, a universe created of monarch butterflies. Monarch butterflies right now are on the verge of extinction, and bless them are a species that we can't keep isolated. And honest goodness, I mean, they lay so many eggs that we could hopefully keep their genetics going. But I mean, the bees are dying. I mean, there are so many things that are in the balance in our world right now. And I mean, geez, I'm going to say it right now that, I mean, I'm living in a country where 40% of the people looked at the incidents of January 6th, saw this raving illiterate mob break into our capital and come very close to destroying one of the most vibrant and inclusive democracies on earth and install a fascist government. And honest to goodness, there were half in our country that would have been totally fine with that. And they were like, hey, fascism, let's try it. Nobody's ever been able to make it happen before. Been able to make it work before. But hey, the Americans, we can make it happen. I'm like, honest to God. I grew up as a son of, here we go into Grandpa Simpson territory. I'm sorry. As a son of I'm a second generation American. I'm a son of an immigrant who came here from Austria, who grew up in the wake of fascism and saw what fascism had wrought and what had happened. And I just can't believe, honest to goodness. And I mean, of course, we as humans have our own ideas of whether humans are worth bringing it back. But I was just thinking of just, again, removing humans from the equation and letting cats decide it upon their own merits, their own judgments that they come across over the course of the story. So, again, I'm sorry for the long answers I'm giving. And I'm pretty sure Laura's upset with me because I said I'd only go an hour, and I've been going for an hour and 17. But let's see. Somebody got a tarantula. Let's see. I have to scroll up here. Oh, my. Oh, my, so many people. Okay, we're back. James Corden, okay. Okay, Strixus. Okay, Strixus. I know who you are, Strixus. All right. Sapita. Sorry, I'm gonna have to Google that. Well, I'm a stupid American, so I'm just gonna see that. It's probably urine in Greek. Oh, Sapita. Oh, it's an orange juice. In this country, no. I mean, we may in various locations, but I could say that I might have, but I don't remember it. I try to stay away from orange juice because orange juice in general is like a high in sugar as Coca-Cola or anything else. It's not exactly the healthiest thing in the world. Are you asking Palava Vicino if I'm drinking Sepita right now? No, I am not. Mason actually is, yeah, oh, that's your kitty cat, yeah. Cat of the shore. Yeah, that's another thing, Aztec. I mean, this is something that I'm trying to we're dropping off. I'm seeing that people are losing patience, and that's cool. We're going to cut it short soon, but just seeing in the background. Make sure everything is 5x5 still. No. Sorry. Brought the window. Let's see. Some of the developers that came onto the project, over the last couple of years since we got, a little bit more got backing on, crowdfunding backing. A lot of people think that this game is going to be very action-packed and everything. Understand, we are, again, trying to create a game that's very relaxing. We're not trying to create like a casual game. We're trying to create something where, for example, there are going to be times where you don't mind just bringing all your cats together around a radio and sitting watching the sunset while you listen to the radio for a bit. I would like the radio the radio program eventually is going to be several hours long, so that over the course of the game you don't have to listen to the entire thing. In fact, you can't, because you're going to have to take care of your cats eventually. But I would like it so that over the course of the game you might be able to catch the entire broadcast in snippets. I'm trying to make a game where, again, people just want to just sit and relax and watch the nice sunset. And, again, they will be at times like, hey, I'm sick of watching the sunset. What was that quest I'm on? I'm going to bring up my quest log and figure out, okay, which of my cats are best fed and best to take up on that mission, and go on from there. Heaven knows, with 9 cats, I trust there's never going to be a time where you don't have something you're going to have to take care of. Let's see. Kitten. That is, let me see. Something that is unfortunately not going to be in the demo, because the kitten is not going to be in the demo because we are on a limited budget. And as anybody who's had a kitten knows, kittens move entirely different. That kitten is going to require a whole different palette of animations. And that is unfortunately, something we would like to include. But right now, our funds, trust me, our patrons on Patreon are being very, very generous, and we are achieving amazing things. But we can't really afford to do a new suite of animations. Now, to show you, let me see if I could find an image. I believe I have an image of that cat. Let me see. The kitten. Let me just see here. PC. Just bear with me here. Peace Island 2D art. Let's see. Oh yeah, here. Oh, it's going to open into Photoshop. Just bear with me because it's a very large image. And actually, this shows all 9 cats. This was done by an illustrator who I commissioned. And he's actually a friend of mine by the name of Scotty Arsenault. I've known the guy for now, into plus over 25 years? No, anyway, him and I actually worked on the first episode of Dora the Explorer, etc., etc. But he's an illustrator. He kept on with his illustration and is far better at it than I am or ever could be. But let me see. I'm going to see if I can move. Sorry. This over here. Yeah, you can see all the cats. Let's see here. I'm just going to point them out, and we can take the grand tour here. That's Kalane. This is boy and girl. They are brother and sister. This is Lizzie. That's Zach. He's a particularly important character here. That is Anine. This is the Siamese. This is let's see. That's Susie. I'm trying to remember who this little guy is. Susie. Boy, girl. Jeez, this is the one thing I always forget one of their names. But okay, anyway, going back to the trust me, let's just say it's a mystery who this little guy is here. this Maurice Sendak sort of looking character, Wild Things Are. Actually, it looks very much like what the Wild Things Are. This is the kitten here. His name is Ronan. Sorry. And he's the Norwegian forest cat, but he's going to be the kitten. And he's on his back because that's his way of, just fighting. In fact, ideally, I want this mechanic, because he's a kitten. At a certain point, if you're not watching Ronan, and I mean, he will get bored very quickly. If you leave him alone, and let him get bored, he will at random times just run to the nearest of the other cats and just attack them, and try to play with them. But that's just gonna mess, because you gotta watch your cats. And this little detail here, by the way, well, let's just say that has its own analog in real life, actually. There's actually on one of the islands in Casco Bay, I will not say which one, there's a guy who has just like an artificial leg hanging out of his mailbox. Had it there for years, and he has it there because he knows that occasionally tourists are going to come by, and from a distance, let me tell you, it looks like a real foot. He just does that just to screw with that occasional tourist, and God bless that guy. That's just awesome. And we included, and there's a whole story behind that. In fact, at the very beginning when we were releasing our alphas, people immediately realized there's a foot in this mailbox. What's going on there? Well, you'll find out. Now I'm going to go back to the questions really quick, because we are going up on our 90-minute mark here. Let's see here. Okay. RPG. Oh, Stray. Yes. Woofer Puff. Yes. Oh, Woofer Puff. There. People said you were a troll. You proved them right, Woofer Puff. At long last, you reveal yourself. Stray came out. Here's the thing. I remember seeing Stray in development after I had started development at Peace Island. And the thing is, I'm just going to zoom out on this print, is when all of a sudden I remember I was following, he had released a few videos, and he had a website up that was of this robot doing one-armed push-ups with a cat riding its back. And I went there for months, and there was nothing new. And then all of a sudden, when they came out with the new PS5 trailer, I think it was for the PS5 trailers, I was like, oh my God. And you know what? When I saw that game, my first thought was, thank goodness, he's still making his game. It wasn't, oh my gosh, somebody else is beating us to it. I was like, because I mean, I saw his the first evidence of his game after I started my game, and I got a little bit of confidence and happiness seeing this guy have his game come to fruition. Not only come to fruition, but be featured as like one of PS5's like signature titles. And I was like, yes, there's a market for other cat games. And it's like, the more cat games, the better. And also, I looked at that trailer, and I think there's less than 10 seconds of actual gameplay footage in that trailer, if there's any at all. So I don't know exactly what perspective this game is going to take place from, what exactly is going to be in the game. It was a very effective trailer, and I liked it. And here's the thing. I wish the guy who makes Stray all the best. I believe he was in Spain. If I was fluent Spanish, I would say, good luck, senor. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to playing Stray when it comes out. So I think I've answered that question. I've answered it many times before. It was, I will say, it was kind of odd when that Stray trailer came out, because I was like, again, I thought the guy who had made Stray, he had unfortunately had to stop his project and was no longer making the game. And so I thought, oh, well, we're the big cat adventure game. And when he put out his trailer, I was like, oh, we're no longer the cat game. We're a cat game. And, the worst thing I had to realize from that was, well, we're making a cat game, no problems. So let's see. Let's see, Estrella, wishlist Wolfer. Yeah, you're looking good, keeping it real. Never time limit your restroom breaks. I've done that mistake, Wolfer. Oh, Defa. Wolfer. Here's the thing. I in my past, I've worked as both a DJ and as a line cook, and at both of those jobs, the first job, if you put on American Pie, you're going to go outside, smoke a cigarette, then go take a poop, and also smoke another cigarette. But no, I've become very efficient at that. Woofer, I'm of Germanic descent. Woofer poof. Trust me, we Germans, we keep our eliminations very, very efficient. So let's move on. Hype. Oh, foreign. Thank you. Hype means they're excited for this. Thank you. I know now. I'm not old. Well, I am old. Let's go back up. Oh my gosh, it's going up. So many people have asked questions. Wow. Raccoons. Raccoons would have been. Here's the thing. Beavers survive out there because they are mostly aquatic, and cats or dogs don't want to trade. Well, dogs may chase them, but that's why there's a mandatory leash law. I'm pretty sure cats may have tried to go after muskrats and such out there on the islands, but there are no potatoes. Yes, potatoes. Let's see. 40 minutes out from Portland. Foreign, yes. Yeah, Foreign, have you ever been to Sacred and Profane? Last question. I'm going to go to the end of this thing, and then, just out of respect for my co-developer, Laura, and we're losing. I really should call it quits in just a bit. And not that, trust me, I really love talking to you guys, because, especially at the age of COVID, I'm just sitting here all day just working alone. Maybe occasionally get a Zoom call with my I actually really enjoy these times, and that's why the videos invariably go so long. But anyway, let's see. Oh yeah. A cute drawing, yes. Aldo Martinez, yes, he's very good. Let's see. Norwegian Forex kid. Yeah, that's the thing. The nerdy foster mom, I'll say this. There were many times after adopting Ronan, don't get me wrong, love him to death, and he was just the biggest pain in the butt. Oh my God, he just, his only way of interacting with anything was to attack it, and he's still getting over that. And I think a week after we got him, he swiped me right in the eye, and I got a sinus infection as a result. Like half my head was swollen up, and I was walking around dizzy all day. And I remember there were times that they were literally hanging on Laura's face. Like, oh God, it was just. But don't get me wrong, love him to death, and he has calmed down a lot. So. Okay, Wolfer. All right, this you got the. Because I believe. Here's the thing: is Wolfer, I believe that you are a troll in mentioning that, because I believe I did a live cast sometime in the last year where I already addressed that, and you were in that live cast, dude. I would have to go back and take a look. Maybe I'm mistaken, but that's why I thought you were trolling me, man. You're like, oh, I've never heard of it. Have you heard of this Stray game? And trust me, a lot of people try to bring that up to go, somebody's jumped on your project. Somebody's jumped on your project. You're the only, and dude, again, I as a game developer now, who's been at this now for, we're coming up on 4 years, knowing how difficult this process is, and knowing just like the gargantuan effort that goes into creating even the most simplest of games, dude. Again, I forget your name. Whoever's creating Stray, Peace Island Crew salutes you, and we wish you all the best and look forward to playing your game, and hope that you will give our game a chance when you have in fact, the guy making Strike, he may be on our Patreon looking at our alphas going, what can I take from these guys? No, he's got PlayStation money. He don't need us. But anyway, all right, Dina 81. I agree. The world. Here's the thing. It doesn't need. Okay, cat games are one way this. It can be expressed. Games need. The world needs more games that teach empathy, cooperation, and one of the things is that. I mean, one of the things that made me shy away from multiplayer is multiplayer is always about owning the other person. The only way we would do this as a multiplayer game is if everybody could help each other. I mean, they could play with each other and and so on and so forth, but we don't. I just have seen so few examples outside of games like Journey, where the player's job is to the multiplayer mechanic is all about helping each other. Rather than owning the other person or, squatting over their face while they're dead so they get a crotch shot, And let's put it this way. If we are so privileged as to make Peace Island 2, by the way, let me just show you. I actually have an idea. I wanted to, let me see, Civita di Reggio, yes. If I am so lucky as to be able to do Peace Island 2, it will be, oh, that's a really bad image. Hold on. I'm looking for open image, a new tab. There we go. Yes. This is, we call it Civita di Pace, which I guess I would have to look it up. I don't speak Italian, but City of Peace. And this would be a great location for it to be, because what this is this is a village that was built, I think it's at least, it has Etruscan architecture in it. And if you don't know Etruscan was the civilization that came before the Romans. That's how old the city is. And for hundreds of years it was called the Dying City because no one wanted to live there because only about half of it is still there because it's built on top of a very strange rock. It's layers of tuff mixed with layers of granite. And the tuff is sort of like foam, and it can collapse. And unfortunately, you can visit the city, and as you walk down, there are some streets that just end because that entire part of the city just fell. But this would be a great place, I think, if I ever made a second Peace Island game that would be multiplayer. It would be set on this village, on top of this tiny little peak in Italy. And, it would be small enough, but you'd be able to just have connections with everything. It's just an ideal place for a game, I think. It would almost be like, Assassin's Creed for cats because they have the Italian villages. But anyway, guys, it's late. I thank everybody for tuning in. If I didn't answer your questions during the very long time that I was on here, please get in touch and ask me, or put in the comments below. I will check occasionally. And I apologize that our build had that perpetual walk issue in it. But heck, I remember. Go watch the film Tucker, the guy who built the vehicles. And 10 seconds before he was going to show his first vehicle off to that crowd, they're having oil leaks and it was just sending out pools, of motor oil out onto the stage of the theater he was going to show off his car in, and they had to have people come in and just, take off their shirts. It's a great movie. Go and watch it. It's another thing about how great capitalism is. See you later, guys. Take care. For those who are supporting Peace Island, Thank you so very much. It means the world for us. For those of you who are thinking of supporting it, $1 gets you access to alphas. Once you give as much, for example, if you want your name mentioned in the game, you have to contribute $100. But let me tell you, after that point, you can drop your monthly donation to $1 or cease entirely. You will still get every one of the premiums that is due to you. And that goes for every level. Again, you can start with $1, $1 per month. We're hoping on releasing a new alpha next month. And for those who are just waiting for the game to come out, trust me, it'll be worth the wait, and I'm very sorry it's taking so long, but we're a small operation doing the best we can. Take care, guys. And let's see, one last thing before this is out. I just want to maybe, let's see. Oh, there we go. Just see here. Yeah. Just, just be up here and say goodbye to you rather than being that tiny thing down there on the corner. Thank you again. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for everybody who is supporting the project or is at least looking forward to the project. And we will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, no. I need to go over to this one. End the stream. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.